let's move south. So I think two good races done. Okay, now we come to the third race, the only south candidate in this discussion of ours, which is of course the Freshworks Chennai Marathon. A note about the Chennai runners, one thing that I really appreciate about the Chennai runners is that they always think on their feet. They're very pragmatic people. Even during COVID, when everybody else cancelled races, they went on to the MMR, well, whatever it's called, the racetrack near Irgankotai racetrack basically, and did a marathon over there, did all their races over there. And even 2 years back, there was a situation where there was a conference in Chennai on Sunday, and the police did not give them permission to hold the race on Sunday, and they advanced it to Saturday basically, right? They said, okay, fine, you can't give us permission on Sunday, we'll do the race on Saturday. So that way, that is something I really like about the Chennai runners. They're very very flexible that way, and they keep experimenting, they keep doing different things, right? So and the other thing about the Freshworks Chennai Marathon is I think it was one of the first races in the country to actually have add the non-standard distance of a 20 miler, right? A lot of races now have a 20 miler in the lead up to TMM basically, and they advertise it like a training race for TMM basically. Chennai doesn't do that, but Chennai was one of the first races to kind of introduce this 20 miler category 5 or 6 years back. And I think the only tricky part with Chennai, if you're doing TMM, is that it's just 2 weeks before TMM, 2 weeks, and in some cases 1 week, depending on where that Sunday in that particular January falls. So that's the only challenge. But yeah, that notwithstanding, I think like I said, this is one good thing about them. This is the best time of the year to actually run in Chennai. Given the weather cycles in Chennai, this is actually the best time of the year to run in Chennai. It's a point to another unique thing about the Chennai races are especially this race is that it's a point to point course, right? The half starts from a different point, the 20 miler and the full start from a different point, but they all end at the same place, right? And there's very good logistics in terms of transporting you back to the city. That is the start point basically, or somewhere around the start point once you're done with the race. So I think in terms of infrastructure and in terms of logistics, I think I've never really found an issue with Chennai. The only thing is ECR, certain segments of ECR can get lonely basically. Again, ECR is not flat. People think Chennai flat, near the sea flat. No, it is undulating. There are certain dark patches. This is all based on my experience 2 years back. I hope that they can address that, and I'm sure they'll address that. And I think Arvind and Aditi this year are planning to do the 20 miler in Chennai. So what is the plan, folks? Or what kind of drove this decision at the first place? Aditi, let's go with you first. What drove you to sign up for a 20 miler in Chennai of all the places?
Oh, I haven't been to Chennai. Generally, I try to do a new race every. I try to, or that's my aim to go and do a new race in a new city. And I mean, how many half marathons will a person do? So it was like 20 miler was interesting, and I didn't think too much. So yeah, 20 miler. I'll also start. I mean, yeah, that's it. And as a lot of people said that the weather that time is the best. Like runners can't expect better weather from Chennai. So it was like, okay, fine, let's go.
Fantastic. Arvind, what about you?
No,
What
my decision is a group decision. Like a lot of us are in the group going, so I'm going. But otherwise, yeah, Chennai. I mean, I had run Chennai in the past, so the previous routes where it used to start near Adyar and then go on the OMR, right? The older route.
Correct,
So
correct,
way
correct,
back,
correct.
2017, 18. Wipro Chennai Marathon was it?
Wipro Chennai Marathon, exactly. Yeah.
Right, right. So yeah, I haven't run for a long time, and I thought this is a good opportunity. And I'm doing Delhi, which is the marathon in February. So this would be a good long run, a training run, as well as to kind of set my baseline as in where I stand. So I thought, in all, it's a good opportunity to visit the city and run. It's close to Bangalore, so you can take a train and then come back by train again. So I think it's a good race in that sense. Yeah, let's see how it pans out this year. I mean, the weather, of course, was challenging in the previous editions. I struggle. Hopefully, this time I can manage well,
Yeah,
manage better.
I have. So, example, like if so, I am also a Tamilian actually, and I want to run this race. But then because there is this Mumbai Marathon exactly 2 weeks later, I always keep it, like sometime later, sometime later. But is it ideal to do a 32 kilometer a bit easy and then come to Mumbai Marathon, or shouldn't?
No, no. I'm speaking purely out of experience. I've done that in the past, and it has not ended well.
And I'm sure this
Basically,
is not just my question. I know a lot of people would be thinking, should I do this and then
no,
Mumbai?
I think that's a great question. I know of people who have done it. Okay, our friend Sharat Adanur has done a 20 miler, and then I think 2 weeks later went on to run a 2:45 or something in Mumbai. I don't remember exactly, right? But then there have been cases like me and Kavita Reddy who have run the 20 miler and then gone and imploded in Mumbai. So 2 years back, basically, Kavita wanted to go a sub 90, but somewhere probably she was carrying the fatigue from there. But anyway, not taking names, based on my experience, I would say it's not a good idea, especially if you're planning to run a full marathon
Mumbai.
in Mumbai 2 weeks before, because it's not just about the 2 weeks, it's also about the travel logistics. Basically,
Yes.
it's also, and I think there is a caveat I would like to add here. We are saying it is the best possible weather in the context of Chennai through the year. Okay. Okay, so if you're going from a place like Bangalore, which spoils you rotten, basically, it is still tricky, basically. Okay, we are spoiled rotten, right? But Mumbai, probably you've seen bad weather today morning also, so I think that way you are well covered. But in my opinion, in my considered opinion and experience, I don't think it's a good idea. But then I'm going to hand it over to Tribhuvan. Tribhuvan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I've been visiting Chennai every year since 2020. I've been in their pre-COVID race route, and I've seen their what you call the MRF racetrack routes in both the years when they did it there. And I've also seen the last year, including last year. And there were a couple of occasions where I walked throughout the route to experience this thing. I think I would correct one point what you mentioned, that all starts at one point at the point A. But I think there is this is something which runners has to
No.
check.
I think the half starts from Besant Nagar Beach, and
Yes.
the 20 miler and the full start from the
Yes.
what do you call that? Island grounds,
Island-
basically,
island
somewhere
ground,
around
yeah,
island
yeah,
grounds.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in previously you just mentioned all three from Highland Ground.
No. I said all of them finish at the same point. AMET, around that Maritime University. or
Yeah,
whatever
Maritime
they have.
University. Yeah,
So
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the
So
finish points
I
are
don't
same.
know if start point changed because I was looking at the routes. So it says start point is Napier Bridge for
Yeah, it's the same.
So
Same.
marathon.
Napier,
Island
Napier
Ground and
Bridge and
Napier
Island
Bridge is
Ground
same.
are the same,
Same
basically.
thing.
So you
Okay.
leave your baggage near the Island Ground. So again, see, that's one
So
more. I
that's
think that's one logistic. Sorry, I'm interrupting. The one logistic Chennai manages very well, which their counterpart has now finally addressed in August, in the last 2 Augusts. I know. I think you know who I'm talking about. Basically, is transporting the baggage from point A to point B. Basically, okay. I think Chennai does a brilliant job of that. So once you're done with the race, getting your baggage, getting on a bus, and getting back to the city is a breeze in Chennai, basically. Sorry, I just wanted to make that point. Yeah, go ahead, Tribhuvan. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about the start point.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning, like Arvind, you saw it as a Napier Bridge. We were seeing it as an island.
Island.
Literally, you need to catch the word island. Okay, it's a island, so there is only one entry and exit to it. So I mean, I would say not Chennai Marathon. I have run a couple of other runs in Chennai
True.
where they moved their start to the Napier Bridge, and I was stopped like 2 kilometers away where because you have to come in the race route to the start
Okay.
point. So if you are
Exactly.
not reaching before time, the route is closed and you have to walk to the
Oh, okay.
point, or you have to come all the way around what you call
The Fort
around the
City,
island.
yeah.
Around the
That
island, and
roundabout,
then
basically.
yeah, that takes time. So you may not make it to the start time. And I have one fun story. Like I mentioned, I had this struggle. So I started 8 minutes after the flag off. So once I was at the start line, they said the baggage is further 1 kilometer ahead behind it. So I have to drop my luggage, come back, and by the time I was there, everyone was saying go. The timing is cutting off and all that. So I crossed it, and on that day I crossed close to I would say 1,500 runners in that route. So it was a very different kind of experience. And after that, I have seen a couple of international runners taking that as a challenge. I mean, not by seeing me, but as a evolution in the trend, where they started the end of the pack and they tend to get the first position. So I felt it
No,
little
I think
unique.
that's a great
But I
point
don't
too.
want that
Like,
experience to anyone running Freshworks Chennai, because it's a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, in terms of route, like everyone was saying, it's a A to B route. So you started Napier Bridge. Let's talk about the feature races so that it's a bit clear. The 20 miler and the full marathon, they started this one,
Napier
and
Bridge.
Napier's
they
Bridge.
I think the 20 miler just goes inside the university, and the full marathon goes a little
Further
ahead
down.
to
Exactly.
cover
It
the.
goes up to the toll, basically
Yes.
beyond the toll, and comes back. Whereas the
Yeah.
32 guys take a
They
turn
just
at
take
the
inside.
toll, basically, and come back. Right? Yeah.
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 So that way it's a very well this thing. One caution to the slow runners who tend to say run a 7 minute pace or little slower. The route restrictions might slightly be released because they holding the route for 5 to 7 hours is very tough. So there'll be some arrogant person getting their vehicles onto the route. So that is something you need to be watchful of. Uh, but if not, the facilities, as this race being by the runners
Exactly.
motto, so they understand everything a runner needs. And I think this is one of only race, or one of the race in India which is certified she race certification. So where you get the sanitary hygiene requirements on the route, so in case if you are looking for something. And also I would say the organizers, they run. Okay, so I'm talking like full marathon runners, or they have individually chapters running. And they have a couple of other events in the city itself. So when I go to other city, other race, all the Chennai runners would be running in that race. And when I come to Chennai Marathon, all the other organizers are running in this race. So it's a healthy running environment that you would find there. And because they run not just locally, I know the president personally,
Yasir,
Yasir.
basically.
So he runs all the international and world majors
He ran
kind of stuffs
Chicago this year, basically.
recently. Yes, yes. So that brings in a lot of experience and benefits to the race and participants.
So Tribhuvan and Karthik, you all have run this, and as Karthik mentioned that the weather is in relation to the city, it is cooler. Define it further, like double click on it.
So, okay, a couple of things I just wanted to add to what Tribhuvan said. That baggage thing is something which is very, very tricky. Both of you, since you're doing it, and for all the others who are doing it, you basically get dropped on one side of the Napier Bridge Road, and the race starts on the other end. And unfortunately, the baggage point is somewhere near Island Ground. So Island Ground is there, and then here is Napier Sea Bridge. And I hope Yasir is hearing this. When I did it a couple of years ago, I faced the same challenge. There was no clear demarcation to the baggage point, basically. So Yasir, this feedback is to you and your team. I think this is something you guys can really improve, right? So that's one thing you need to take care of. Now coming to your question, Aditi. See, throughout this route, right from the beginning, but for a brief stretch in between, like the Adyar stretch actually, by and large you are running by the sea, right? So there is going to be some amount of humidity, basically. Even though the weather might be at its best, basically, there is going to be some amount of humidity. And the question is, how much can you play around with that? So to answer to double click on that, that is what we meant, that in Bangalore you don't have to experience these kind of things. So in terms of the weather, yes, it's not DRHM weather. If you've run Chennai, there is a race that legends run in July called DRHM, basically. It's not DRHM weather, but then it's really very conducive in the context of Chennai. But then you cannot erase the fact that almost 3/4 of the race you are running by the sea, basically, be it on the ECR, be it on the marina stretch, basically, right? So in that sense is what I wanted to, is where I put in that caveat. So Tribhuvan, you.
I would add a few points. Recently, I was having an interaction with one runner who is trying to understand the weather between Chennai and Mumbai, because that's like comparing somewhere similar events, right? Both are at the sea level and next to the coast, kind of thing. Like you can't compare a Bangalore event to a Chennai event. So compared to these two cities, both are at the sea level. That's point one. The main difference is in Mumbai, it's in the western side of the country, and this is in the eastern side. So you'll have the first sun hitting you far earlier and stronger by the time you're in the mid of the race. So that way, it is definitely not a pleasant weather in Bangalore standards, or if you say the moderate weather in Hyderabad can be considered as a good weather in Chennai if you have run Hyderabad more than once.
The other point that Tribhuvan made, I really like that about Chennai runners again. One side of ECR is completely blocked for runners, and guys, you really have to appreciate the authorities for that. ECR is an arterial road that connects the entire East Coast road from Chennai onto Pondicherry onto Kadalur, where not. One side of it they completely block the traffic basically. So slower runners, yes, there will be a little bit of a challenge, but I think like Tribhuvan said, it's for the runners, by the runners. I think they do a brilliant job basically. Only thing is, some stretches crowd support, if you're looking for it, you'll be a little disappointed because you can't expect. Again, the other point I wanted to make here, Chennai is an early start. I think it starts at 4 a.m. if I'm not wrong, basically.
4:15,
Yeah,
I think. 4:15.
4:15. Yeah, so that's a pretty early start. Probably also
So
because
that's for the marathon only, right? That's for
no, the marathon and the 32, the 20 milers go together basically in Chennai because I think the overall numbers are not so big, or maybe there's just a very small lag between the marathoners going and then the 20 milers going, because it's not much. So maybe if they start at 4:15, you guys start at 4:25 basically, or 4:30 or something like that. I think not much of a difference. That is what I remember. Probably you may want to double check on that.
Okay, yeah. I mean the weather. I mean, I ran both Mumbai and Chennai, and from a Bangalorean point of view, I'm telling, Chennai is much more humid. In Mumbai, I don't think you will feel that humidity because it's much colder, mid-January. But Chennai, you would see about 23, 22, 23 degrees, so you would feel the humidity.
One more interesting thing about the Chennai Marathon, right? Especially if you're running longer distances, you get to see every kind of weather. You'll probably see you'll see humidity at the start, then you'll see a slight drizzle somewhere around Adayar, Tiruvanmayur basically, and then there'll be that there'll be some headwinds and tailwinds on the ECR basically, and by the time dawn breaks, this is an interesting thing. The best weather in Chennai is once the dawn breaks basically, especially on the days when it's been horribly humid, right? Once dawn breaks and you probably are somewhere on that stretch where you're taking the U-turn around the toll and coming back towards the university, would probably be the best weather in that particular 3 or 4 hours that you've run over there that you will see actually. So that way Chennai, has it's a very interesting race basically.
And ECR is completely open, right? No trees, nothing. I think you will be.
Yeah,
I
ECR
mean, if
is
you're
there are no shades. Yeah.
And just checking,
There is
how
no
is the
no
crowd
shade.
support in Chennai? Like, is there any, or like, is
No.
it no?
No.
you are a nuisance to them.
In DRHM, the race I was talking about, it actually became a nuisance 2 years back. Tribhuvan would know that actually, especially about around the MRC Nagar, so they had to even change the route. But no, Karthik, to answer your question, crowd support, that is a problem, especially that ECR stretch. You are all alone basically, right? There are a few villagers who come out and then they have a hearty laugh that what are these guys doing at 5 a.m. in the morning, running in the middle of nowhere basically. But that apart, no, not much of crowd support. But the police support is excellent. Again, the cops, they really ensure that, and that she race that Tribhuvan says, I think they really take it to heart. I mean, I think it's one of the safest, even though it goes through sections which are very, very uninhabited, outskirts of the city. I think from a safety perspective, Chennai city itself, is a very safe city for women, and that reflects in the race basically.
I guess this, which is the largest 10K event in India?
I think it is the Chennai. I think there was some stats last
Yeah,
year. Yes, I remember
right.
that discussion.
Chennai Marathon 10K event has about 15,000 participants last year.
Seriously?
And
Yes,
that is
I
the
remember
largest.
that discussion.
Bigger than
And
TCS
I don't
10K
think
run.
I think the more we
they even
talk,
I
the
don't
more we
think they
talk,
even
it goes into the comparison and controversies here. I would simply put it like there is no 5K in Chennai, so 10K is the entry category. So it definitely attracts more people who are aspiring to be part of Chennai Marathon. So that would be the
Right.
driving
But then
factor.
No,
I
and I
think
Ultimately,
think
this year,
one of the bigger reasons is like what Tribhuvan said, right? This chapter driven model that they have. Chennai doesn't really aspire for outstation runners. Not that they don't welcome them, they of course welcome them, but then they have enough of a critical mass. You know, this 15,000 that you're talking about, they have enough of a critical mass inside Chennai and probably, you know, the adjacent parts and, you know, Tamil Nadu, which will fill these numbers up basically for them. Yeah, sorry, you guys were saying something.
I'll just read out the
this,
stats. So
okay.
15,000 10K, about 3,000 half marathon, 750 20 miler, and 500 plus the full distance.
The full
Okay.
distance.
But then this year,
Kar-
a TCS, a 10K was a 16,000 runners, right? So just before that, Chennai was the largest 10K. And probably after this,
Ah,
TCS 10K,
okay.
they again got to the ground.
So this is the controversy I don't want to
no,
get
and
into.
We are
I
just
think
looking at numbers, just numbers.
okay,
That's it.
so let's stay. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just looking at numbers,
Numbers.
and I think the 10K doesn't even come to the outskirts. It doesn't come on
Okay.
ECR. I think they do it
Yeah,
within the
yeah.
city
It,
itself,
it
actually.
finishes, I think, in one of the universities within
Yeah,
Yeah,
the finish point is completely different. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
completely. I think it starts from Besant Nagar, but oh no, it starts from
no, it starts from Napier
Napier
Bridge. Yeah.
Bridge, but then it finishes within the city itself. They don't.
So the
So
tricky thing
that
is
way
that
it's a challenge. They have, you know, three different categories of races that they flag off and they manage. So I think that way they do a. I think in many ways Chennai runners are unsung heroes. You know, they don't probably get the due recognition that they really should get for the amazing work they do.
And
Sorry,
then
Arvind, you were saying
2 weeks later, you will see a lot of them in Mumbai.
something.
when I was just saying half marathon starts at a different point, but
Yeah,
10K, 20 miler, and full marathon starts at the same point.
yeah,
The finish, half 20 miler and marathon finish at the same point.
same point,
10K,
correct.
10K again finishes close to the Napier Bridge itself, somewhere close there.
Oh, so then maybe
It's
it's a out and in kind, maybe
yeah, out and
5K
in
out
road.
and
Yeah,
5K in kind
right,
of a thing.
right.
Yeah, yeah. But it has its own set of challenges, you know. I mean, like that's why
Yeah, I
you
think
see the
that would be
timings.
just lighthouse and back. I would
Exactly. I think
say
it should
if
just
you
be
if
the
you have run
lighthouse
the
or
race.
probably up to Santom and back or something like that. You know, that gives
Yeah,
them the
yeah.
10K. And the expo also in Chennai is very accessible. That way. Last point that I just wanted to make here. I think they do it somewhere in the city only. So like people
It
who
used
just
to, Karthik, I would like to correct. I mean, in the context of geography, it may be in the city, but previously it used to be in the heart of the city. It like used to, I think it was in the municipal HQ or the hospital HQ something. Now it is moved to RK Convention Center or Function Hall, which is in
oh,
the
okay,
ECR Road, which is
okay. So
kind of close to the finish point than the start point.
okay, so I
So
think the 2 years back, what they had done is
yeah, yeah.
was it was somewhere in the city. It was a hotel in the city, basically. I think I stand corrected. Now probably they moved it to. So, but yeah, that is a
But
little
again,
bit of a
so I think the
challenge.
whole of our discussion has to be seen as a subjective than objective. So
Yeah.
anything related to your race, start times, baggage, expo location, expo timings, definitely check the website before
Recheck.
doing anything.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. I think that's a more important message that goes out. And you know, the point in this discussion was, you know, all these our experience, what we did, and what you should not repeat. Basically, you know, that's it.
I
So okay, I
I
think a
think
lot of conversation on Chennai.
I'll
Yeah,
just have to give one message probably to the organizers is that like you guys have to make sure everything honestly goes on the website because what happened with the race I participated today probably I don't know if I should name or not, but all the details came just 2 days before on Instagram. That's it. Yesterday evening there was a WhatsApp. That's it. I had a lot of
no,
DMs saying what time is the race start, like where does the race start, what is the course, no idea, nothing. So, I mean, honestly, it will be helpful for all the runners if everything is on the website because a lot of them like actually school to the website and not on Instagram. So,
I agree. I think I also agree.
okay, so now moving further west, basically the big race of the year or the big race of the running season, the Tata Mumbai Marathon, right? Now we can talk about hotel rates and flight rates to Mumbai, basically. Yeah, I think everybody, you know, a lot of people research a lot, know a lot about this. So I don't know how much we can really say. But yeah, I think from this year, I think this year would be what, the 20th or the 21st edition? This year?
21st.
21st.
21st
21st.
edition.
21st.
21st edition, right? It just keeps growing. It just keeps growing every year. Mumbai is changing year on year. You know, we see a new metro, new shiny functional metro now. Basically, I'll let Karthik Nadar speak about it. It's his city, right? And so does the Mumbai Marathon keep growing in terms of the number of finishers and the number of people who are signing up for the race. Tribhuvan made one point. I'm just going to make that one point, and then I'm going to hand it over to these two guys. Um, the only improvement that I see from a half marathon perspective, and I think Arvind will agree with me on this, is that guys, we need some place to warm up before the half marathon, basically, right?
Agree.
That area warming up. Kavita Reddy was doing a very smart thing. I was just getting into that place. I was running a half for the first time after a long time in Mumbai last year, and I see Kavita running on somewhere near the entrance. It's still 1.5 kilometers to get to the start line. I'm like, Kavita, what are you doing? Why are you running here? She says, go in, you'll realize why. Okay, so I think that is the if you really want to warm up in Mumbai, you're doing a half and you want to warm up, you have to warm up really far away. So Kevin, Procam, if you guys can do something about this, that will be really helpful. Having said all that, Karthik, I'm going to hand it over to you. It's your city, and then I'll come to Tribhuvan. What is cooking in Mumbai, and how is the mood vis-a-vis TMM?
I think one thing which I'm getting a lot of messages about, like where do we stay? Since the Mumbai Metro Line 3 is up, and since they had the special trains for this morning's race, I'm sure it's gonna also happen on the day of Tata Mumbai Marathon. So you can stay anywhere in between airport to CST, and it will be amazing experience for you. So with this, you will be ideally saving on the cost because hotels in South Bombay is going to be very expensive, and yeah, apart from that, like that's it. So apart from that, like honestly, nothing much. Like everything else remains the same. I think the vibe with Mumbai Marathon is kind of still remain the same. I know a lot of people from Mumbai now actually want to run half in Mumbai and then run a full in Delhi. I am kind of noticing this very newly in Mumbai. This was not the case at least a couple of years back. But then it probably has to do with the weather and everything. But then we are expecting a decent weather this year as per the earlier forecast. I am in touch with couple of folks who give weather forecast, and then these guys are like, okay, this year is something La Nina or something. So the winter is going to be good. So let's hope that the weather is good on the race day.
Okay, perfect. Tribhuvan, you ran the full last year. The weather was not good, basically, compared to the previous two editions. I think 2023 was by far the best. 2023,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, you are right.
2023
You are
was
right.
by far the best. It was Bangalore weather in Mumbai,
That's the
basically,
race.
right?
Everyone clocked a PB in Mumbai.
Everyone clocked the PB, right? 2024 was good, not as good as 2023, but it was good. Last year was bad, especially for the full marathoners. So why don't you talk us through it, actually?
I have run 24 and 25, and I'll also be running 26. So this will be my third year in a row. And fortunately, this is my first full marathon distance, I would say. I have registered for 2018 full marathon, but due to the travel commitments and work commitments, I couldn't participate at that point of time, and I never did a full marathon before 2023 Mumbai Marathon. And this is one thing which I like about program events is there is a slam thing. I'm slightly going out of context here. The slam thing it at least ensured me to do my first full marathon. Because I started with Bangalore 10K, and then I did a half marathon in Delhi, and then I did a 25K in Kolkata, and then came and did a full marathon in Mumbai. So I've been kept in training throughout the year, which is very essential to do a marathon. So that way I think it's in a right model to capitalize or form the participants for its own future growth. So yeah, it's a good thing. But coming back to your question, how was the weather in the first? I mean the 23, 22, 23, 24. Sorry, 20.
3, 24, 25.
24,
23,
25.
24, 25. Yeah, sorry. So I think in 20 we are the hydration, I mean the energy drink partners at this event, and there goes a lot of logistics in terms of setting up the things on the route for the participant who wants to grab a bottle or a cup when he is there, right? It's a lot of military exercise, I would say, of restacking the cups on the table, filling the bottles or keeping it on the table just when he needs it, not before, not after, just when he needs it, right? So we kind of put some pace-based participation flow in front of each station to come to that how many bottles should be there in each station and all that. So coming back to the weather point, so whenever we see the weather is bad, the product on the route moves better. when, when the weather is bad, the situation will be bad for us because we need to collect everything that is deployed on the route to bring it back. So that's a bad day for the back end guy and a very good day for the runner on the route. So yeah, we have seen very good weather in the 23 and 24 season, and then 25 it was slightly hotter or humid, I would say, but not as bad as it was few years back,
Not
right?
very
So
bad. I think I was there in 2025, right? So Aditi was also there. It's about 22, 23 degrees and then
No, but
went
I
up to
think
25.
the problem is when you are on your way back, right? Again, the same problem like
Yeah, it's
Chennai.
about went up to 25, not
It
beyond
Yeah,
no,
that.
it
yeah.
no,
got
but
So
Marine
bad
Drive.
after
Uh,
7 a.m.
yeah, so
actually.
it's yeah, I'm coming to that point. So like you are mentioning, in Chennai after the dawn, the weather changes dramatically. Uh, in Mumbai also there is a certain window where the weather changes dramatically, right?
exactly.
So if you are able to cross the, I would say the pedal climb before that, you are in the good day of your marathon history books. If not, you are in the worst day of your marathon history books.
No,
So
I would not restrict it to Pedder alone. See, even if you cross Pedder, I think Mumbai, based on my own personal experience of running about 8 marathons there, the real challenge begins once you get back to on the Marine Drive basically, right? Because again there is no shade, right? And it's a never-ending loop. At least
straight road.
now your 41st kilometer comes right at Ambassador or before that. Before it used to be even more torturous. So I think it's that after Pedder you have one nice downhill all the way till Babulnath basically. Once you cross Babulnath and take that left on Marine Drive, right? Basically the Girgaon Chopati part. From there until the finish line, or at least until that ambassador turn, that's a tough stretch basically. And like you say, that's a great point you make. Once that window, if you are in that window in that area also, right, it's quite a bit of a struggle, because last year I was standing there, somewhere just on Marine Drive basically, and I could see a lot of good runners struggling quite naturally at that stretch. So even though the weather from a number perspective might not look so intimidating, the feel basically I think last year, especially in that window, was something that a lot of runners were struggling with actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if we, I mean, I think Mumbai, if we just want to talk about the course and weather, I think we already spoke about weather.
Correct.
Course in terms of overall approach, what I take is I break the course in four parts. Part one, the first 10K. From start point, you just do small turns and twists in the same area, and you'll get onto the Marine Drive, and then you go all the way till Chowpatty Junction, which is technically your first pedder, which a lot of people don't
Exactly.
realize that they are running pedder in the first uh, first stretch as well. But till there, I would say your first part of the race, you try to be controlled, and the route is little less elevated, or overall gains are very less, and then you take that next stretch, which is majorly undulating and thrown into the weather kind of situation. Like you finish your second 10K on the sea link,
Yeah.
right? So you're tackling the first pedder, you're tackling the empty roads in the morning. I mean, no matter how much we say that this is the most what you call
Crowd
community
support
crowd supported
oriented
race.
race. Yeah.
I mean, they are not waking up at 4 o'clock to come and cheer you at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
Right.
So you can expect them only in your way back.
Second
On
half.
the way
So
back.
on the way back, but in the morning it's you have to be on your own, right? And once you're on the ceiling, it may look a flat thing, but it
No.
is actually a elevation gain that you're catching there, and adding to that, there is a headwind as well.
Exactly.
So you have to be very mindful and be strategic about how you're going to tackle that particular stretch. And then once you're down from there, there is this unspoken 10 kilometers, which is from your
No
from
man's
your
land. No man's
no,
land.
from your post ceiling to the pedal, right? You're running, but you're mentally not there, realizing where you're running, how you're running, who is next to you, what you're taking, and all that. Slowly there will be the cheer group starting from 28th kilometer onwards, but still you'll by the time you realize it's almost 35th kilometer. So that slowly starts, and from there I think the crowd is massive, which you can't or you won't see anywhere in the country, I would say,
Yeah.
or at least to the places where I have seen. You get people coming out with homemade drinks. You get people coming with Coca-Colas. You get all sort of people, kids of 4 to 5 years coming and cheering for you. You feel very motivated from this point, right? From say I would say 30th kilometer on, you feel very motivated just because there is someone watching you. There is by then there is light also, right? So the photographers are focusing you. You want to get some good pictures, and your race is till then it will be going good because it's only half mile mark, right? So you're feeling strong. You're getting the energy from outside. You tend to go stronger in that particular stretch, and then once you cross that 34th mark, you encounter the pedal, right? And this is where you also get the half marathon. I mean the slow half marathoners
Yeah.
in the route. So the moment you want to race, the moment you want to tackle the hill, you also have a other parameter of obstacle, which is your fellow runners,
Exactly.
the slow runners. So there will be few volunteers who are trying to move them to one side of the road, but please expect to maneuver those people because they are also runners and participating in the race. So you have to this thing, and the drawback of moving them to one side is you're cutting away. I mean you're cutted. Off from your basic route essentials, right? So the stations are on that side, and once the crowd is there, you're not able to grab your bottle or drink or even the sponges. By then you would be needing cold sponges and everything, so you won't be able to grab them. So that is something which you need to be mindful. And coming to your final stretch, your favorite spot, Karthik, the Chowpatty to the finish line. This is like it's a flat route. You're out there, and that is where you also get the sun right onto your face because that's the golden hour. I mean this thing shows up, and like I said, you already crossed the slow half marathoners. Now you are crossing the moderate half marathoners, right? So they are a little more aggressive and they don't want to give way also because they are sticking to their target. So to tackle this, Procam has will be
Dedicated
arranging
lane.
barricades in the middle of the road. So the half and full marathoners or even the 10K are partitioned, and you will be running on one side. And historically, there has been a challenge that once it is barricaded, the stations are only on one side, right? Because it's a community, I mean, cheering and all that. There were a lot of community people grabbing the supplies and getting onto the other side to footpath and supplying the stuff to runners. But I think from last year, Procam also moved some part of the station to this side of the road. I mean, please correct me if it is not available for few of the categories coming in the back. But it is fairly addressed, and I think they will also further improve on it. And once you take that left, I mean that's where I would say the mental thing comes.
Game begins.
Once you take that left from the Marine Drive, I think it's Pizza by the Bay is
Yeah,
the
Pizza by the Bay is the turn point.
yeah.
Brabon Stadium and Pizza by the Bay,
Yes.
basically.
So that's where you feel like you're finishing the race, but you're still 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers.
One kilometer away. One
Yeah,
kilometer away.
away
Just
from the
one
One
finish.
point
kilometer to the
something,
finish.
yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and that stretch is also little what you call mentally challenging because like in Kolkata where you see the finish point 1.5 kilometer away, here you won't see the finish point until you're in front of it,
In front
right?
of
So if you want to push the last kilometer, unless if you are in the last 500 meters or 200 meters, you won't see the finish line. So you're suddenly taking a turn and said, oh shit, I'm there, right? So it's that kind of situation, but that is a stretch where you not just the community, your fellow runners who finished, they tend to quickly grab their stuff and they'll come back to cheer
Yes.
you.
Cheer you.
So I think this zone will be very vibrant. Because it's a very narrow, like I said, it's a narrow stretch, and you're running in a narrow lane. So people read your name on the bib and they'll shout you. Even if they don't know you, they'll keep shouting your name and they'll be cheering you. So even if your hamstring is gone, you'll still try to make up that stretch just for the cheer.
Yeah.
So that's how I break the route. But yeah, I think if someone is targeting a timing or a plan for the year, just stick to your plan. Don't carry away with
Don't
the
get carried away at any
yeah,
point early in
at
the
any
race.
point. Yeah,
I
any
get
point,
you.
and take stick to your nutrition, stick to your pacing plan, stick to your bunch if you have the pacing group. I have this story where like I said, my first marathon was 2024. Fortunately, I convinced my boss to pace at the race so that I can catch behind him, and I was with him till the halfway mark. Once the ceiling was crossed, I said bye bye. I'm very happy and all that. Once the pedal came, they caught up to me, and eventually I finished 30 seconds slower than what was the bus meant for. So yeah, that is something you should not play with your. Even the second time, I had a similar experience. My pacing group, I mean the friends who I'm running with, had a different struggle on the race, so they couldn't be with me till the midway point as well. So I had a good race till midway point, and after that I kind of lost the focus, and mentally, if you see my pictures before 21 and after 21, you can see it evidently on my face.
Right. Yeah. So I think, yeah, thanks. I think that's really helpful. And I think so. Arvind, how do the statistics look basically over the years? How has this race grown basically?
That's a good question. I think they cap the participants, unfortunately, because the course has a capacity issue, right? So the numbers are very similar. I mean, 7,000 to 9,000 for the full distance, and half marathon it is 12,000 to 13,000, I think, based on the year.
Okay.
But that's, I think, is capped, so they can't do much about it. So we cannot talk much about it. But yeah, but the numbers are very similar: 9,000 for the full distance and about 13,000 for the half distance.
Half distance. And I'm just two more questions and then we'll move on to the next race. Karthik, any surprises to be expected on the route? I know there's a lot of work in progress that's been happening over the years in terms of the coastal road construction and all that. Now things finally seem to be in place, right?
Yeah,
All the road works are
that's
done, the
all
metro is
over.
in
Yeah.
place. So no surprises as such on the route.
That's all over, and I think this year we might have the a full version of Azad Maidan, because even the metro work which was happening there, even that is over.
Okay,
So no,
great.
like there will be a lot of surprises, but on a positive note, at least in terms of all the construction. Pollution is quite bad, slightly bad in Mumbai, so that can be the case even in the month of January. It's not as ugly as other cities I don't want to name, but it is still bad for Mumbai standards considering it's a coastal city. Apart from that, I think what may surprise you on the race day is the weather. Like if it's a good weather, it's a good run. If it's a bad weather, it's going to give you some lessons, and
Yeah, of
that's
course.
it. Like I don't think any more surprises there.
And I think one point I would want to add, especially getting in and getting out, because Tribhuvan has covered most of the other aspects. Getting in and getting out, right? I noticed one thing, especially for people flying in from Bangalore, basically, or Ahmedabad, these two cities particularly. Mumbai's second airport,
Yeah,
the
that's the
Navi
biggest
Mumbai
surprise. I
International
forgot. Yeah,
Airport,
yeah.
is opening late December, and flights would be available from early
Uh,
January. So if
25th
you are booking,
December is the opening date.
25th December is
Yeah.
the opening date, and if you're booking, just be careful because Indigo has already started advertising its flights from NMIA to NMIA to Bangalore, and Akasa has started advertising from NMIA to this thing. So when you're booking tickets, if you've not booked tickets yet, just be careful. You know which airport you're booking the flights from, basically. Right now there are two airports in Mumbai around the Mumbai Marathon date. The one is of course the CSMIA basically, and the other one is.
So just one message here. So if you intend to, land at airport and then like visit the expo, then you have to go to the old airport, CSIA, because there's this metro which is there, which would also take you to the expo. You might have to walk a bit, so don't carry your a trolley or something. If you have a good backpack, that should do. But if you are getting down at NMIA, then it's going to be tough for you to come to expo all the way to Kalina and then head like wherever your accommodation is.
Okay, okay. So I think yeah, we'll anyway do a full Mumbai feature. I think we've covered a lot here also, but we'll do a full Mumbai feature sometime before the race, basically, where we'll be covering upon all these aspects. So I think that this is a good segue point to move towards. We wanted to do Chandigarh, but none of us have really done Chandigarh. I'll just make a short reference of Chandigarh before we move to Delhi. I think Chandigarh is again a growing race. FitPage organizes that race. Basically, it's called the Chandigarh Fast Marathon. A pretty niche audience right now. People in the last year have been able to, BQ there and have gone on, they've BQ'd there. So people have gone and got their PBs there. I think Chandigarh in itself is a beautiful city. So, but it's still a very relatively unknown race, at least from the context of this discussion that we are having. I think once we have more information, or some of us plan to run it in the future, we'll probably come back and fill it up. Right now, we'll just say it's a week before Delhi. Previous editions, it's been a fast, flat marathon, at least the way we've seen the timings and the way it's advertised. So if you're looking at that race, that is something. If you're looking for a BQ, the one good thing I like is that the organizers are openly calling it a BQ race, basically, right? Not a lot of organizers in India do that. So in the US they do that, but in India, not a lot of organizers say we are a BQ race, basically, right? So the Chandigarh Fast Marathon organizers are doing that. I think the race is slightly higher priced because I think there are some other add-ons also that are part of the race. So yeah, we would love to hear about it, and probably we'd cover it in more detail in future editions.
Just
Sorry,
want
Karthik,
to
you were
add
saying.
one thing. I think they have opened up the a 10K race this year for everyone to participate.
Okay,
Otherwise,
okay.
like they have this a timing qualification which is very strict. But this year they've opened up the 10K, which I believe to just to add a bit more crowd so that you feel it like a proper race day. But then
Right.
just
So
one more context, it actually falls on the day of Mahashivratri.
oh, okay, okay, okay. So something for the organizers there to ponder in future editions, probably.
Yes.
Without much ado, then we'll move to the what we consider now. You have races all over the year, but what we runners consider as the season finale in the Indian context. They have a new sponsor this year, Cognizant
Cognizant.
New Delhi Marathon. And Aditi, you've been quiet for quite a while, so I'm going to start from you. Basically, I hear that you are running a half this time around in that race. Why is that so?
I so as every like as you spoke about Chandigarh Fast being a BQ race, I think it's just that is one these organizers have not yet said that we are official BQ, right? Like you you can talk everything that you want to come here and you got this if you've trained. So, so yeah, the reason why I am running half is because I BQ'd there. And I'll be running Boston, and it will be too soon for me to do two full marathons, and because my group is going, and as Arvind mentioned, generally these are group discussions and group decisions. So I'll just go and do a half there while and cheer them while they do the full. And yeah, so just to talk in context of Delhi, um, I've ran three marathons there. Of the four marathons that I've officially ran,
Oh,
I debuted. I debuted in Bangalore, Bangalore being my home city, and then the other three I ran only in Delhi. Delhi is if I have to take Tribhuvan's conversation and breaking of the race. Tribhuvan, I really like the way you broke the race. So like the race route. So I generally do a, a 15, 15 and 50, 15, right? Like um, it's it's a 15 mile and 15 kilometers, right? 10, 10 and 15, sorry, 10, 10 and 15, right? 10 mile and plus 15 kilometers.
10, 10, 10,
10, 10, 10.
10 kilometer.
Okay, 10 kilometer. Okay, Arvind, fine. Um, And so while the race is flat, I mean, I've not seen a flatter course than Delhi. There are a few undulating like stretches. One of the things that if we have to talk about to be careful if somebody is debuting whether half or full, because it is winter in Delhi, there'll be certain stretches which will be dark, right? Like especially near the Lodi Garden, and when you
Exactly.
start, you have to be very watchful. And especially when people are running, and as Tribhuvan said, if people have started taking water early on, the folks who are little slower will have wet roads. There'll be some spillage, and they'll have to be careful considering that it is still dark. Having said that, in the second loop, it is just beautiful. It is foggy. It is poetic. It is just beautiful to see all Rashtrapati Bhavan to India Gate to Lodi Gardens rising up, and then everyone cheering you, right? Because in the second loop, even the half marathoners get in. Um, Again, stick to the plan. If hold your horses, and even if 1 or 2 kilometers have gone not as per your plan, stick to you trust your training, and you'll be able to stretch in the last 2-3 kilometers. Also, one of the things personally I felt was that the last kilometer is cobbled, right? Like
Yes.
it is a
Some
cobbled,
section of it is cobbled. The
cobbled.
Bhishma Pitama Marg near the Sai Baba temple.
I think the
That's
Yeah.
100, 150 meters especially is
yeah,
very tricky.
yeah,
Yep.
Huh. So if you are, you have to be even when you start and when you like you'll be crossing it thrice, right? So that cobble stretch you will have to, yeah, 4 times. One needs to be very careful because when fatigue creeps in, we tend to lose our posture, and we tend to lose our running form, and that may cause some trouble, right? So a few things that we need to take care are these, but otherwise, as far as hydration is concerned, as far as crowd support is concerned, I think by the second loop everything is comparable to other cities, right? So and
yeah.
yeah, getting in, getting out, logistically, it's pretty comfortable.
I think that's a great point. Of all the races we've discussed today, this is the only race which is a two loop kind of a thing. The marathon, right? We have a marathon, half marathon, and a 10K, but let's talk more about the marathon because that's where the bulk of the people come in here, right? So basically, it's a two loop affair, and in a, over and above whatever Aditi said, I think those are some very relevant points she makes. There's one particular stretch which abuts the Lodi Garden, basically, right? Where you get off the Lodi road and then you go, about a kilometer out and come back. That's a
Yeah.
very tricky stretch, basically,
Khan
and
Market.
Khan Market stretch. And
Khan
last
Market.
year, suddenly the lights went off. This is something that we've
Yes.
communicated to the organizers, and I hope they are able to address it. I think that stretch is a little, the road at places is a little bad, the lighting is bad. If they can do something about that one stretch, I think this is an amazing race, basically, right? And the crowd support part also, I think I liked what you said. Towards the second half of it's an early start again, it's like a 4:15 kind of a start. And in the second loop, you have a lot of these Delhi run clubs line up, almost all the way on Mathura Road and almost till the end of the stadium, basically. So there's some crowd support, basically. But by and large, again, be prepared to run long sections without much of crowd support, all on your own, basically. Delhi is a drag race, guys. People go there to perform. They don't go there to do the experience part, basically. It is where people go to BQ. Maybe NEB is being very modest in not portraying it as a BQ race, basically. But in India, if you have in our lived experience, again, I don't want to challenge any other race. In our lived experience, if there is a race where you have your best shot at BQ, we would say on any day Delhi. Also because the organizers have taken the feedback over the years, basically, and the edition to edition, the race has got better. There have been shortcomings, but those shortcomings have been addressed. So Arvind, you want to add, because this is again one of your favorite races, and I'm sure you're looking at a BQ this year in Delhi, basically.
I did BQ last year, but yeah, it didn't work out.
BQ,
But yeah,
BQ basically.
second BQ maybe. Yeah, but this time maybe BQ with real BQ. Yeah, so
BQ with
I think
cutoff,
BQ is a
cutoff, cutoff
BQ.
BQ.
Cut off
BQ
BQ.
with the cutoff. Yeah, I'll
Q is a
probably make the
BQ.
cut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, it's a good race. I mean, I think the only thing is two loops. Yeah, that is the same thing with Bangalore race as well. So yeah, two loops is the little tricky thing, and I think most of the points were covered by Aditi and you. So nothing much to add. But yeah, the thing through, in my view, the only thing I really like about I mean, not only thing. I mean, one of the things that I like about the race is they hand out the bottles, so which is good. So I can grab a distillery and then move and run. And it is very important for a marathon, especially, right? Half marathon, you don't care. One downside I saw though is that if you're a slow runner, marathon runner, I think you will end up with half marathon traffic. Um, so you got to be careful. But it's a good race. I mean, I think we kind of talked multiple times. It's the real BQ race in India, I would say. Yeah.
So,
So in terms of numbers, no,
yeah,
no,
go
go on,
ahead.
go on.
No, 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 go ahead. You quote the numbers and then I'll move on to.
I'll just talk a couple of points about the course and the arrangements.
Right.
Yeah, I think for someone who really don't know NDM, it's basically VDHM route, Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon route, with a few tweaks
Twice.
here and there for the route. So you are essentially running VDHM route twice. Okay,
Yes.
that's one thing you need to
No,
keep in
I
mind.
really wish, Tribhuvan, I just want to interrupt here. I really wish it was the proper VDHM route. It was back in 2017 when we went all the way to Parliament Street and came back. I hope they go back there, and I've told the organizers also that. But yeah, anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. The second thing is the lighting on the route. What you guys were mentioning that it's not well lit. The two things I would say is one, there is a stretch which is not a VDHM route. Is you go inside the golf course road or race course road. There is one small stretch you go inside.
Khan Market, yeah, the
Uh,
Khan Market
yeah,
stretch.
yeah. So that is uh, if the street light is gone, you are literally running in darkness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say you can't even see the runner who is
Ahead of you or behind you.
1 2 meters ahead of you.
In
So
fact,
you have to
we, we,
run
we,
in
we
blind.
had a
Yeah.
couple of incidents last year. I won't take names. Somebody fell basically and had a pretty bad fall at that actually. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, but this blackouts is not uncommon in other races as much as we are stressing in this particular discussion. I have seen in other races in the same route where the streetlights gets turned off because of the timers of the municipality or whatever the reasons. It is bound to happen. So you just be prepared for all this. Okay, that's one thing about the route. And if someone I have this tendency where if I see a finish point, I'll stop, right? So there are a lot of races in past where if it is a two loops of 10K for a half marathon, I stopped at the 10K point only. I didn't finish the race. So, so if someone have that tendency, don't attempt it or try to get over it by taking a step away from the start point where you can finish it there, right? So that is something. But yeah, coming to the route facilities, Arvind, I would like to like I said, we should see this as a subjective topic, not objective, because the same organizers who did the Bangalore Marathon recently have given a hard cups on the route, right? So if you take that as a continuation, you can compare both, right? Like last year to this year, there can be bottles, or last race to this race of the same organizers, there can be hard cups which you can't quench in the hand. So this is also something which, as a runner, you should get the clarity at the expo and understand what you are getting on the route. And but again, like I said, this is a two loops of half marathon, so essentially run touching one point of the route four times. So if you can strategically plan, so what I have personally did was obviously external support for the route is not encouraged for your rankings and standings. So I have thrown a couple of bottles on the route of the nutrition what I wanted, and I grabbed, at least I was able to grab a couple of bottles, and I probably benefited a couple of other runners who flicked my bottles. But but yeah, that's what I have done in past. But I have seen a lot of friends, like you said, there is run groups who are stationed
Yeah,
or
yeah.
there along the route, so they tend to pass on the bottles and get their nutrition what they want. So they do that, but personally, I don't feel it's a good practice. But yeah, the run groups is a different kind of energy. Unlike what we discussed in other cities, here the run groups, they come, they celebrate the finishes, they do the after parties and all that. Karthik, just for you, I'm just giving some hints. So it's a really good space to be post.
Yeah, I think Delhi run groups, especially that stretch, the Mathura Road stretch and the the Lodi Road stretch and the Bhishma Pitama stretch on the second loop or when you're finishing, I think the vibes and the energy are very different basically. And one more thing I'd want to add here, the most trickiest part of this race is that second loop. Basically, when you start the second loop, when you are back on Lodi Road, that's somewhere around your 23rd kilometer, I think, from 23 to about 27 28 kilometers is the make or break in this route. If you can basically tide through that part of this race well, no, you are at a place where you will really you will finish the race well. Most of us, the race has again speaking from experience, the race has broken or been made in that stretch basically. So two loops can play on your mind, especially on the second loop, right? So if you can kind of handle that section, it will be tough basically. There will be challenges. If you can probably bunch up with a couple of runners, tide over that section, I think you're good to go in Delhi. Sorry, Arvind,
No,
you
the
wanted to add
Madura Road
something?
is real actually. That's there is a flyover which you don't realize, I think, no? But
Exactly.
there is a flyover which you have to actually going up the
Yeah.
flyover there. So I think that is a little difficult. First loop probably will not observe, but second loop it does take the toll on you.
So
You don't
first
you
loop
don't climb
we
the
I think the
you
observe,
don't
fact
climb
that
the
you're
flyover, right?
we endure.
There is
I mean,
actually there is a
there's a
flyover. We don't
gentle,
realize it.
yeah, there's a
Uh,
gentle undulation, and I think what again Delhi, the other problem is this basically, right? I think you're running on the same kind of course again and again and again. It's very monotonous. It's the same set of muscles that are getting worked basically, right? Unlike let's say a Bombay where you have variations on the course, this is the same set of muscles that are getting worked. So when you suddenly, like Arvind said, look at that Mathura Road thing, right? It kind of gets you basically. So yeah. Sorry,
muscles is the
Aditi.
same one, whichever the race, but I think it's the mind about it.
Yeah. I think the combination of things basically. Yeah, right, yeah. So sorry, Aditi, you were saying something?
So I was telling that the first loop we notice the flyover, but second loop we start enduring it, right? We
Yeah.
already the mind is already sending signals that okay, you might just go slow here.
Yeah. No, I think it becomes. I think the problem is it becomes very monotonous actually. Second loop, right? Especially like I think Arvind said, it starts playing on your mind. Especially Mathura Road on the way back, right? It's like one long stretch basically. It starts playing on your mind actually. I think that the devil is not in the course. The devil is in the mind basically. So
I don't
Tribhuvan,
think
are you
so in
doing a
this
double
lifetime,
Mumbai
but
and
let's
Delhi
see.
again this time?
I can probably do a double, but not reaching Mumbai
I'm
still.
yet to decide. Uh,
Come on,
I'll take that as
it's
a
my
yes
birth
basically.
and my workplace. So
Uh, Karthik Nadar, we've kept you out of the conversation. So when are you going to ditch the full in Mumbai and do a full in Delhi, basically?
someday.
Try it.
Okay. Because you guys,
Try it,
Come on, you should
Karthik.
not be attached so much.
Sorry, Aditi, you were saying something.
I'm telling Karthik he should try it once. It
Yeah, you
is
should
not.
try it. Maybe do a half in Mumbai and then come and do a full in Delhi, basically.
You should be like Bangaloreans. We go everywhere and run. We don't care. whether it is a home city, not home city, doesn't matter, right? Gujarati, Tamil, Kannadiga, doesn't matter. Go everywhere
And
and
at the risk of sounding immodest, most of our guys they end up on the podium everywhere, basically.
yeah. We have one right in front of us.
Yeah. Okay, so that kind of brings us to the end of this conversation. It's a long conversation, but it's a very, very interesting conversation. I think Mumbai, the way you covered it, Tribhuvan, that route thing, we are going to really play it again and again. I think it's going to trend really big actually in the days to come. But thank you so much, guys. I think really nice experience sharing here. So, last thoughts before we wind up. I'm just going to keep it simple. Your of these 5 to 6 races, your favorite race and the one that you really look forward to in this coming season. So we'll start with Aditi.
So favorite obviously now is established will be Delhi. But I'm looking forward to newer cities, right? Because I've not gone to Ahmedabad before or Chennai, I hope as you mentioned, Karthik, that Ahmedabad has potential. It will go big. I'm going with the same openness, and I want to see how it turns out for myself. Again, Chennai, closer to Bangalore, and we should. I mean, as you spoke so much about Chennai organizers, right? Chennai runners who are doing this, and it is by the runners and for the runners. So that is something that is close. Tribhuvan spoke very well about Calcutta. I don't know. Sometime I should go to Calcutta. Not this year, but yeah, let's see how it pans out next year. Yeah, so that is for me from my end. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Karthik Nadar, how about you?
So I think this year I am doing slam, so probably it got me two new cities, which is Delhi. I ran the VDHM. It was a good race, except for the dark patches, which everyone agreed that Delhi has some dark patches, regardless of the which race you are running. And I'm excited to run Kolkata because of everything what Tribhuvan has literally said. You're going to enjoy this, that. So I'm excited to do that. Apart from that, it's going to be Mumbai, and probably I'll look at a Tata Ultra this year, probably.
Oh, okay.
I have run that a
Interesting. I
shorter
think it falls
distance.
on the same day as
Yes,
Delhi, I
yes,
think, right?
yes. I've run the
Okay.
a 35K before, so I'll probably see if I can run a 50K this year, and after that I'll
Oh,
probably come
wow.
back to Bangalore. That's the plan. Like, but then next year because of everything you guys are speaking about Ahmedabad, probably I'll go to Ahmedabad. I'll not be doing a slam anymore. I think it's good done once. Even though I'm
Yeah,
yet
yeah,
to
yeah,
complete it, I can still say that it's honestly good done once. So from next year, I'll explore, like Arvind also said, like explore new places. So that's the goal next year.
yeah. Tribhuvan, what about you?
I think I would stay away from this comment because all the cities, all the organizers are bit
No,
close,
no, your
and
favorite doesn't mean that what you like
Yeah,
most.
it
Doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
that you are
other
hating
races
the
are
others.
bad,
I think
basically, right?
Mumbai, because of the crowd, the energy. I mean, if I'm running my target time, at least I have a bunch in front of me in
Right.
Mumbai. So this way, going to a different city to race alone to a city where I can at least have some short rabbit chases, I would feel Mumbai is a good option. But maybe like how the much more seasonal runners would say for BQ I'll go somewhere and all that. When that point comes, I would definitely see the options. But again, for someone who doesn't enjoy running alone and all that, I would prefer doing a BQ in Mumbai than go to a city and do a lone battle thing.
I'm
Makes sense.
I'm aligned with him on the same page.
No, but Delhi also you have bunches
Yeah,
with whom you can run.
quite a few
So
would be there at your speed.
at your
Okay.
pace. So I think it's and like we say, Delhi
Yeah,
is a
that's what I mean. When that comes, I have to make the decision. It's not like,
absolutely.
yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe we also discussed about doing Chennai and running Mumbai, or doing Mumbai and running Delhi.
Right.
This question will always be there, not
Yeah.
just for us, for any runner in the country, and especially for
Absolutely.
some bunch who just I've been running for 13 years, so I have seen waves of runners in the country, how they start, how they peak, how they injure, how they come back, how they abandon the sport, how they take up new sport. So all kinds. I've seen all kinds. So there will be some bunch who always want to do all cities in a span
Absolutely.
of a year or in a stretch kind of thing. So for them, I would say like what Aditi was saying, 10-10-10 model at some race, and keep your workout in that race rather than doing it as a race effort, and say which one is your race and which one is your workout, right? So if you're doing Mumbai as your race and Chennai probably it's a 32k race, right? So you can probably I was again speaking to someone today morning during long run. I mean that's how most of the runners interact about the run. So I was saying I want to break down my 2026 Chennai 20 miler into two parts: 5k, 10k, 2k, 10k, and 5k. So I'll have my race efforts in these two 10ks. First 5k and last 5k will be warm up and cool down, and the middle 2k for the workout recovery.
Recovery.
So
Yeah.
that's how I want to place this as a workout, and same thing in a similar fashion can be done for Mumbai, people like Karthik, and I have seen a lot of hardcore people who really like doing Mumbai but don't want to race in Mumbai, right?
Right.
So they usually tend to enjoy the race, and some people put their workout in Mumbai and then they go to some other race that they are targeting.
Absolutely.
So that's how you need to plan if you are very excited to do multiple races and you don't want to get injured or be in prime form for your areas. This is how you need to approach them.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So, Arvind, how about you? What are you looking forward to? We know, anyway, we'll do a
Why don't
roll of.
you say? Why don't you say first? Because I've been talking. So
Okay. So I think I echo with a lot of stuff that Tribhuvan said, right? I've been in this sport for about 11, 12 years now and counting, and I've learned my lessons the hard way. And so now I've, come to a place where I've cut down on racing massively. So I just have a Mumbai half tune up and then I directly go and do the Delhi full. I'm not doing any of the other races. So I'm looking forward to those two races. But as a geek, as somebody who follows the Indian running scene, I'm looking at all these races. And though we didn't really speak about it, I'm also looking keenly at Chandigarh Fast Marathon. So I'm going to look at all these races, and I think each one of them in our list has immense potential. Some of them have already, are high flying races. Some of them are getting there. So I think I'm going to look at each and every. I think every weekend from now until February 22nd is going to be really interesting, basically.
cool. And you just finished your New York
Oh
marathon.
yeah, I
So
just finished
anything you
my.
want to say about it?
I think that's a different discussion for a different day. But one thing I definitely want to say, it didn't really go well after 27 on the personal front. But that notwithstanding, I think every marathoner in the world, everybody, okay, let's talk about India right now. Everybody who signs up for a marathon or wants to run a marathon, guys, you have to go and do the New York City Marathon. I think in the 26 marathons I've run so far, it is easily the best marathon I've ever run, right? I'm going back. I don't know when I'm going back, but I'm going back. And one bonus was that I met the Clintons at the finish line. Hillary and Bill were right there at the finish line. Chelsea finished just behind me, basically, or almost besides me, right? But that notwithstanding, I think the vibes, the experience from the Verrazano Narrows Bridge through the five boroughs right till the Central Park, it's just a totally different experience. Like I said, I think that's a different that's a different discussion for a different day.
So Karthik,
Uh,
you want to share some message to organizers from your New York about the borough challenge that New York mayor or the council has to come up and cheer the crowd, right? So I mean, I'm not sure if a lot of us know. Uh, do you want to throw some light or?
I'm not aware of it. I'm sorry, I myself am not aware of it.
So in New York there is this five boroughs
Yeah,
through
you
which you
cross the five
pass
boroughs,
you
exactly.
pass, right? So there is this challenge to each borough on who gets the most cheering,
The crowd.
right?
Ah,
Okay.
Crowd. And the council, I think, the mayor, they award $1 million or something as a token based on the runners' feedback. They
Oh,
they vote which borough has been most experiential for them, and basically the borough gets money for the development,
okay.
right? So it's a challenge that the organizers with the government brought in to create experience, but also development in the borough, which is putting more efforts.
Okay. So well,
Still,
when I was there, a new mayor has also come into town, basically. So and he's talking about a lot of development. So let's see. And he himself has run the New York Marathon. I think one of the
the
editions. I don't
previous
remember
year,
which one it is. Right.
previous
So
edition year.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
interesting.
think after New York, I've been reading a lot of articles like how Aravind digs deep down into uh, skeleton. I've been doing it for New York. I've been seeing a lot of encouraging and
Oh yeah.
what you say, these things about the participation demographies to the personal best timings to the race organizings to the new trend in the Wall Street
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, the new trend in the Wall Street.
Subtleties.
Yeah.
so I think it is giving a new direction to
It's
the
giving
world of running. Yeah.
there are no two ways about it, and I mean, like I say, I think we can dedicate an entire episode to it. I mean, the experience Morton, for example, right, at the 12th and the 18th mile, they had something called as the gel depot, and you had gels just I mean, pick it up basically, right? That kind of an experience, and the whole vibes, right? I mean, there is this one point in the race. There's this place called Queensboro Bridge, right? It's the most silent part of the race, basically, right? So, but just as you're exiting Queensboro Bridge, you can hear the crowd almost a kilometer away. Basically, it's called the Scream Tunnel. It's in the Lower Manhattan part. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think as a marathoner, I mean, if you ask me, of all the, I've done three majors so far. If you ask me which one you want to go back to, I'm not taking anything away from the others. But from an experience point of view, I think nothing comes close to New York. I haven't done London. I've heard great things about London as well. But so far, whatever I've done, I think nothing comes
No,
even close
I
to.
think rather suggesting Indian runners to travel abroad for the experience where the chances of getting through is 1-2 percentage,
Tougher than
uh,
Harvard.
and becoming tougher than a cat, cat or a Harvard this thing. I think as a runners who ran there, we should bring that experiences to the Indian races
Yeah.
and create a
Uh, that
much
might, I think,
yeah, I mean that is what we should do for the Indian community from
Yes.
being in the space for a very long time.
okay, one last diversion I'll take before we come back to the topic. We are talking about a race which started in 1975, even before I was. I mean, forget even before I was born. Let's put it that way. With a $1 ticket registration, and the most interesting thing. This came from your boss, by the way. The first few editions were entirely within Central Park, basically. So 1975 to 2004, I think it's not really a fair comparison, right? It is. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there. But yeah, I agree with your part. I think at least as people who have run that race, I think we should share the experiences on different platforms. And again, I think there are multiple channels to get into the New York City Marathon. Yes, it's tough to get in. There is a virtual marathon channel. There are so many other channels. I feel people should at least aspire to, do this race once in their life. I'm not saying you have to go and do it tomorrow, but, at least
No,
go and do it
I'm
once.
personally not discouraging anyone to do it.
No, no,
I
absolutely not.
myself am a world major aspirant, and I'm starting my journey from next year. So it is very exciting. I hear stories from every city, every world major in detail to the like you're saying the gel part, right?
Yeah.
I dig into the level where how many gels were kept to what runner point it was there available.
Yeah.
How do we grab it?
Oh, yep,
If the
yep,
if
yep,
the, if the
yep.
if the stuff is thrown on the floor, how do you stay put without slipping? I go in detail about every aspect.
Right.
So I'm very excited to run all this. I'm just saying that we being I would put it like this, in a fortunate situation to run those. The minimum that we should do is bring those best practices to India and
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
give a better experience in Indian races.
No, absolutely. I agree. I think we can. It can be a microcosm of what you see in international races, basically. And I think quite a few of those good practices are finding their way into India. For example, you guys now having gel stations on the way, basically, right? And I think quite a bit of it is coming. It'll take time, but we'll get there. We'll eventually get there, basically. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Arvind, you want to tell us what you're looking
Yeah,
forward to
cool.
next?
So my calendar this year looks like this. I'm doing Ahmedabad next week, and then I might do Vizag Navy Marathon. That is mid-December. If I feel I recovered enough, and then I'm doing Chennai 32K, which is a 20 miler, in first week of January, and then Delhi full distance in the end of the February, right? So that's my calendar this year. There is echo coming now from
Yeah.
my. Huh. So that's my calendar looking like this year. In terms of favorites, to be honest, I would say I'm not running these races for experience. So if I want to run for experience, I go to New York, like what you did, or in London or something of that sort, right? So definitely not running for experience. I want to kind of run them to qualify for Boston. So hopefully I will do it. But among the races, I think Delhi is kind of a good race to run for the Boston. So I've been running it last 3 years, and this will be my fourth, I think, fourth marathon in
Fourth
Delhi.
LDM.
So yeah,
Okay, guys, I think this has been a great conversation. Point is well taken. I think Arvind kind of reiterated that point, Tribhuvan. I think the first point we have to do is, bring that experience at least into some of our top races here, actually. We don't need to match New York, but at least the good practices and if we can manage to bring the crowds out on the street. And I think by going by the participation numbers now, people from all walks of life are signing up for races, right? In Twitter, I see a lot of activity, right? So I think